used to be completely addicted to my phone. I would answer every text, every DM the second that it came in because I was so terrified that if I didn't respond fast enough, I would lose the client. And honestly, I thought that's just how it had to be running a spa. I said yes to every appointment, no matter what time it was at. I was working probably like 12 to 15-hour days. And by the end of 12 years owning my spa, I really genuinely didn't even recognize myself anymore. My health, my marriage, none of it was getting the best of me. I bought a wedding dress online because I couldn't slow down long enough to go actually try dresses on. And that's how deep in this whole process I was. So here's what nobody tells you and what I had to figure out the hard way. You can actually automate so much of this. And I don't mean like AI that sounds like a robot. I mean simplifying your business so it takes care of itself, so it works for you instead of you working on it continually. It doesn't matter if you are a solo lash tech, or running a huge salon. It actually works the same way. When you go to school for aesthetics or cosmetology, you go to the school to learn the skill. You actually don't spend a ton of time on learning how to market yourself. And that's okay. Being great at the skill that you went to school for should actually always come first. But I do want to walk you through 3 things that you should be focusing on that you can also automate, so you can get your time back and pour that time back into your clients. I'm going to break this down for you into 3 separate pillars, or 3 separate ways that you can think about automation. Pillar 1, I like to think about that as like, how do you use it to get found? Number 1, and the number 1 place I tell everyone to start, is the map pack. That is your Google business profile listing. If you can get into the top 3 spots when someone searches for your service or services, you're going to have an ongoing stream of new customers finding you. If you set it up right once and you let it keep working for you month over month over month, it's just going to keep working for you. Let me show you what I mean. When you search for something like try one of your services, I just said lash extension near me. We should lash extensions near me. You are going to see this section right here. And this is what most bookings, where most customers actually go to find someone. And if you are in these spots here, these top 3, this one's sponsored, so they're actually paying for that one. But in these 3 spots here, if you are showing up there, you're actually showing up there organically, meaning you're not having to pay for that spot. It's just how well you are known on your business profile and just online in general. And here's the part that most people miss. It's not guessing on how to get to the top. Google actually has a very specific algorithm, and it rewards consistency. Getting reviews and responding to those reviews, but also posting to your profile to keep it active. All of these are something that triggers to Google that you are active, but it's also something that we can automate. So it could all run in the background while you're mid-service. So let me tell you how I actually do automate this, because it's probably the very first automation that I would set up for every single one of my customers. The moment they check out, like your customer checks out, they automatically get a Google review request. I created a product called the Launch Suite, and in the Launch Suite, we set this up for you. But honestly, most booking softwares have some sort of version of this. I wouldn't recommend just sending it one time. Your customer leaves and they actually get busy. They don't look at their phone for a while. So I usually recommend setting this up on a series. So the second they leave the review, the series stops working. So you're not going to get, send a customer a text that says, please review us after they already have. The system within the Launch Suite already knows that. But I automate this because I was so freaking flaky remembering to ask my customers in person, and I feel like it's kind of just awkward. But this automation just happens behind the scene. Every single customer gets asked every single time, and the reviews keep coming in. And that is what is going to help you rank in the top 3 spots. In the responses, we also have an automation that handles that. So every review that comes in gets a very thoughtful response that sounds like you. No one would even know that it's coming from like an automation or an AI. Down below, I actually have a free checklist that walks you through exactly what Google looks for to help you rank in the top 3. It's free, grab it below. There's just a link down below if you want it. I also make videos like this every week for beauty professionals because I know how hard it is to figure out your own marketing. So subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my next video. Okay, pillar number 2 is using automation and AI to actually get you booked. I can't tell you how many businesses I've analyzed, like their Instagram, their website, where it's genuinely hard to actually even get in touch with them. But on the flip side, as the business owner, you feel constantly glued to your phone, like I mentioned before, because if you don't respond fast enough, they're going to go to the next person. And unfortunately, that's just the name of the game. Whoever responds first usually wins the booking. But what happens when you're like on a cruise or camping, or you just don't want to be freaking tied to your phone or you have no service? Or what happens if you're mid-service with a client and you get back and, you get back home and you have 800 text messages? This was the part that drove me to close my spa, ultimately. I felt like I could never put down my phone. And here's what the weird part was. When I finally closed and my phone stopped going off, I kind of had this like sense of anxiety, like I wasn't needed anymore. It was deep-rooted, that habit of being addicted to my phone. And if I were to start over today, this is genuinely the very first thing that I would automate. So here's how it works. Within the launch suite, we build out a knowledge base about your business, about your services, your policies, how you like to talk, do you use emojis? Do you not use emojis? We train it to sound like you. So when someone texts or DMs, the AI can respond instantly, or it can wait a little bit depending on how you want it to be set up, but it carries out that conversation and answers the customer's question. It can send them to your booking link, or it can even ask them their name, their email, and book them for you. It's going to ask the questions in order to book the service for you. And I know what you're thinking, it's going to sound like a robot. It genuinely doesn't. Nobody would even know that, some AI or automation is keeping that conversation going, and you can have that completely running while you're working or behind the scenes, and no one would even know. Okay, and then there's pillar number 3, using automations to get them back and get your time back. This one's probably my personal favorite because there's so many ways of setting this up. Within the launch suite, we have already built these for you. You just basically go through them and turn them on, whatever ones you want. But everything runs 24/7. It sounds like you, handles all the stuff that you don't want to do or care to do. Review requests, booking reminders, birthday messages, and the big one is if a client hasn't been in X amount of days, you choose the number of days. We can even do it by service. The system will automatically reach out to the customer to get them back on your books. And listen, this is literally how I grew my spa in the beginning, back in the Stone Age when there was no automation. I just would text people. I deemed myself, I'm going to be annoying. And if someone didn't rebook with me, I would text them, how are your lashes? You're due for a refill. When can I get you in? And I was constantly in their ear, and it worked. But I was doing it manually every 2 weeks from memory with a full-time job. And if I could have automated that entire process back then, I would have run with it. And that's exactly what I've built for you. The follow-ups happen whether you remember or not. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, so let's just address them head on. It sounds expensive. Here's the thing, the automation is just one piece of the puzzle, and I genuinely think you would be shocked by the price. The Launch Suite has booking software. It has a full built custom website. It has tons of tools, SMS, email marketing, so many different things. And that's why I built it, because I think that beauty professionals in this business are spending so much time trying to figure it out. What about I don't want a robot texting my clients? I mentioned this a little bit before, but you won't even notice. Your clients won't notice either. We build that knowledge base so it sounds exactly like you, because it's not replacing you, it's doing the things that you don't have time for. The business will eat at your personal time if you don't put boundaries on it. And I'm trying to solve that problem for you because I didn't solve it for myself. It's answering the text at 11 o'clock at night so you don't have to. It's catching the client that you would have lost mid-service because they text you when you're working on someone, then you text them back and a couple hours later and they've already gone with somebody else. It's also capturing the person who hasn't been in with you for a long time that you have probably forgot about because you're so, scattered. How easy is it to set up? We do it with you during an onboarding call. You're live in days, not months. And look, I'm not saying this really fixes your business if something else is broken, your services aren't quite there, or maybe your personality is really rough. I don't know. You still have to be great at what you do, but this just makes sure that you are not losing clients to missed opportunities. So that's the launch suite. There are a ton of other tools out there that can do bits and pieces of this. But as a beauty professional, I worked in my spa for 12 plus years. I built this exactly around what I would have loved to have, and I'm excited to show it to you. So link below, please let me know if you have any questions.